Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take.
Last time on Drone Guy Aussie Road Trip, we take you to the beautiful campsite of Mount Seaview, show you a little bit of the area, have some downtime relaxing, meet some of the locals. Yes, and this fellow walked straight through our campsite without a worry. One of our swimming buddies went fishing and caught a turtle. Hi, we're on our way to Sydney for a proof of concept shoot tomorrow. There's a telecommunication company that looks after the telephone towers in and around Sydney, so they just want to see if a drone will work to get the detail for the inspection they need for their reports. Hi. In Sydney now, rained all the way up here. Found a nice safe place to park up and sleep for the night, so ready for my shoot tomorrow morning. Good night. So we're here in Sydney at the job site, been rained out, haven't had pressing rain like this in a long while, so it's probably good for the countryside but no good for doing our job. So heading back to Newcastle, redo the job on Monday. Them's the breaks. We're on our way to Sydney to do the Kellyville job, a proof of concept for a telephone tower. Here's hoping. Overcast, but looks fine. Here we are in Sydney. I stop off for a coffee. We forget how comfortable we get with our local coffee shops and how much we enjoy their coffee. That would have to be the worst coffee I've ever had. Anyway, here we are arriving at the job. You can see the telephone tower in the background. No rain, but overcast, which is not really a worry for this job. It's more about to see if the drone will perform how it's supposed to, not about getting great artistic photos. So it's really just a commercial shoot. So I'll walk you through how it goes. We set up our time-lapse camera to record the actual filming of what we did. You can see the drones floating around in little dots in the sky. The guy who I was working with on the day races drones, so I was able to give him my other Phantom 4 to film what I do. You can see here's the other drone in the sky as we're going up then. The idea of what I'm doing here is just to see how the drone performed going straight out up the tower, to see if we lost signal, if the drone was interfered with in any way from the tower. That was my major concern doing this job. It wasn't whether I could get the images they wanted. It was a matter if I could actually get close enough to the tower without losing signal and the drone flying back to its original takeoff place. So in this shoot, this video here, you see it doing a perfect circle around the tower. I set a midpoint, flew the drone out, and I want to make sure that from every different angle the drone wasn't interrupted in any way whatsoever by the tower, because this tower was still working, fully operational. It's very rare you can get these towers turned off. The reason they've got me in to do this job is because it's quite expensive. They've actually got to go and check every tower once a year to make sure these bolts don't come loose, and they've got little tags on these bolts that point out, and also a marker pen on top of the bolts or nuts. So the idea here was, one, I get comfortable with flying in the area and flying around the tower, make sure none of those none of the signals are interrupting in any direction with the drone, so it's really just a safe fly at the moment. And once I do a full circle, then I go in. Now the idea of this job is there's two sets of bolts, one about 10 meters up and another about 20 meters or 15 meters up, and I had to go in as close as I can to the tower to photograph these nuts and make sure none of the tags or none of the nuts had loosened on this tower. So it was really a safety check to see if it did what it was supposed to do.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost.
So what I'm doing here is flying in and around all the equipment to make sure there is no signal loss in any way while I'm flying the drone. It's more of a tread lightly again, go in close, low level, high level, and then as you see here I'm going in tight. This is the Phantom 4 Pro. I fly into those set of nuts there on bolts that hold the two poles together. It looks like I'm about a foot away from the pole, but I'm not. I'm about 1.2 meters. The drone won't actually go any closer than that because it's got obstacle avoidance on it, which is a safety system on the drone. What you see me doing here is trying to get in. They had some trees very close to the pole, and I had to fly down into the trees to get the close shot from the other side of the pole. This is where I started to get really nervous because, as you can see, the lower bolts had none of the signal devices at the lower level, and here they actually have. Here's the actual photograph, just the original photo, and then I zoom in. What can you just see the actual bolt, orange markers, but you can see the texture mark at the top of the bolt, which was quite surprising we were able to get in that close. Here's another original image. It's probably from about 1.5 meters away. You zoom in with a 20 megapixel camera and the same thing. So all in all, a very successful shoot. Customer was very happy.
Hey guys, I was just sitting down with a mate having a coffee, and I took a phone call Sunday, 10:30, and the guy is a mate of a man that went missing about 8 weeks ago. He sounded fairly desperate. They haven't located him. Apparently just got dropped off or left the car and hasn't been seen since. There's some lantana they want me to fly over and have a look at, so I said yes, and I'm on my way there now to try and help in any way I can. It's weird. I broke down the other day and I had 4.5 people sort of really help me out, so yeah, it's my turn to give back. So we'll see what turns out. Anyway.
So here we are at the search site looking for this young teenager that went missing. You can see the sort of trails in the grass or lantana. Down below it looks like it's fairly flat and easy, but those paths that you can see trodden down on have lantana or bush next to it that's about 1.8 meters high. So where they're walking, they tried to walk backwards and forwards, as you can see to the right there, as close as they can, but they were worried about missing any of these points. So, you know, a metre away when you're in that sort of bushland, you can't see what's beside you, and they just want to make sure that there was nothing, no stone unturned. And with what we're looking at here, I'm just going around the edge of the sort of watered or swamp area, to make sure there's nothing there. When you look through the water, you can see the actual shadows and depth of some of the water. You can see back there the paths of where they've really looked. So they did a pretty thorough search on foot, but the drone fly was just to make sure that there was nothing they missed. And you know, from the height we are here, without the sun in the way, of course, the water's quite transparent. You can, you know, see the shadowings, the different depths, the reeds, you know, anything underneath the water. You can see the shading there. So yeah, and this was where they actually thought he'd walked back from where he got dropped off in the car, along a railway line. So yeah, it was quite humbling to do this sort of shoot, because you're really looking for someone that you don't want to find. And the big message I got from these people was that I did the shoot for was they've searched on foot, and we went up with the drone to scour the area and found nothing, so then they can put that area to bed and move on to the next area they need to search. The young man we were looking for is Zac Barnes from Maitland, and this is the Maitland area search. They wanted me to search a swampy area along Lantana, so I went and sent the drone up and show them what the capability is it of. They were very happy, because then they can tick off that area that they've had a really good search. It worked better than I thought, so yeah, and they were so appreciative. Anyway, good luck guys, and they'll probably get me out again to have another look if there's another hard area that they can't do on foot. But anyway, yeah, very humbling. Like, yeah, it's sad. I'm looking for someone that I don't really want to find, but we want to find. So yeah. Next time on Drone Guy Aussie Road Trip, we take you down to the beautiful town of Eden, New South Wales, on the Victorian border. We show you the old cannery, some beautiful sights, and this working harbour. I didn't realise how busy this little town was and how beautiful it was. Then we're off to Binbadgen Winery in the Hunter Valley, New South Wales. We got hired to photograph the car parks to see where they could fit more cars for these sort of venues, and then the Rodriguez concert I was able to get some more footage. So thank you for watching our video, we really appreciate it. Come join us on the journey, either through Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or our website. This month's tip is, if you're upgrading your machine, the firmware on your machine, your controller and your batteries, I also check to see if there's an upgrade for the app, the Go4 app, because I've found if I don't upgrade all of them, I find the machine does not communicate really well together. Thank you for watching this video. Without your generous support, we would not be able to produce these videos. So please go to our Patreon page and support us, or go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Thank you.